Yo, the enemy's public, I gotta keep my eyes open. Pay attention, stop walking around like you blindfolded. This not the World Cup, but Nasir be kicking knowledge. This the type of information you can never learn in college. It's time to fight back, it's no more trying to play it cool. We got interviews, podcasts, and got the latest news. So sit back and relax, we about to get it started. Earth is a canvas, and guess who's the con artist? They brainwashing us, the system corrupted. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. I said you are now rocking with the enemy's public. Hey.
Peace. This is the enemy's public. I am Bro.Nasir. It's some strange behavior that's going on amongst some of our people. In particular, some of the so-called millennials. And I want to discuss it this evening. Peace to my brother Chris Cyphers. Peace to my brother Big Dog Philly OG. And it's a series I've been doing off and on, the vent. Sometimes I like to vent. And it's a trend going on that is mind-boggling. And it is prevalent, especially in these YouTube streets. And it's some peace to my brother, Talk Your Talk Media, my brother Greedy Vegan. Peace to my brother. And it's prevalent on these YouTube streets. It seems as if some of our young people who just arrived here, could make a determination of what goes on or what went on in people who were here before them lives. To those who are younger, the older person can, peace to my brother Big Dog Philly OG, to all the younger people.
Peace, good brother.
How you doing this evening, good brother?
I'm breathing. I'm good, fam. Much love and respect to you and the family always. Much love and respect to everybody in the chat. Go ahead, brother.
Much love and respect to you and your family, brother, always. To all the young people who feel like they can't be taught because they think they know everything. Those of us who have life experience can tell you what's down the road and which way to go when you meet the fork in the road. And if you want to go and live your life trial and error, you can do that and you have a right to do it. But I can say that I was your age before. You've never been mine. So you can't tell me about anything about life as far as generalization. You could tell me about what you went through. It's some horror stories that young people have gone through. But when you have young people denying what an older person has gone through in their life and what an older person has seen, we have young people today denying that racism exists, that so-called white supremacy exists, and white privilege don't exist, as if there's no system put in place for that. All of the aforementioned is systemic. And some of us think because it didn't happen to them personally, that it doesn't exist. it's as if they're waiting their turn to fall a victim to whatever detriment is out there for our people. Peace to the realist McCoy. And I always say, if you think that it doesn't exist, if you think that there's not a system put in this world that's detrimental and against our people, just keep living. Just all I'm saying, I just wish you just keep living, and I hope you don't fall a victim to it. I hope you're able to move around in this world without falling a victim to it. But I want you to just keep living. And you cannot undermine a brother's or sister's sojourn here in the wilderness of North America. Pardon me. I'm getting that let me turn my notifications down. My brother Greedy Vegan earlier today said something very significant that resonated with me about those of us who come on panels and for the sole purpose of undermining and correcting everything a person say. I can't get into those conversations because it's not building, because that's destroying. Actually, when you're on everything somebody say and you're calling people out their name and undermining everything they say and what they've gone through and denying it because you didn't go through it. You can't deny someone's pain, someone's sojourn, someone's walk. You can't undermine that because you know nothing about it. And it's a shame that some of these young people are going to have to go through something. We can't be the martyr to tell them or the example to tell them how to walk around in the world, because some of us would rather just go through it on our own. It's as if they're waiting their turn to fall a victim to this system. And if you don't think it's a system that's designed to our detriment, just keep thinking your American dream thoughts. Just keep thinking that. And it's painfully obvious that some of us going to have to go through some things because we undermine our elders. And you know what? Our people are the only people who do that. Our people, no matter how wicked Caucasian folks, so-called forefathers are, no matter how wicked they are, they revere them. They revere Francis Scott Key. They revere what's his man name? Francis Scott Key. They revere George Washington. They revere all those so-called. These are heroes to them. They're heroes, and you can't say nothing about them to one of them. Christopher Columbus is a hero to Caucasian people. Yet we, for microscopic indiscretions, and some of us don't even know, what we do is we'll listen to some fool running their mouth, and 9 times out of 10, that fool did nothing on behalf of our people, didn't even stand and act on behalf of our people. And what's crazy about it, when those who have stood and acted on behalf of our people will get a credit to some cracker. We'll say that that person put that person there, as if none of us could stand and act on behalf of our people. Everything we produce, everybody we produce is either a turncoat, a sellout, a coon. It's as if that's all we can produce. Some of these young people can't talk that talk around me. They can't. They could talk it on YouTube, they could talk it on social media, but they can't come among me in my presence and talk that foolishness, especially when they don't have a track record of doing nothing besides talk. These niggas need to shut their mouth. As a matter of fact, they need a little more than a talking to with the way they behave. They're reckless. They're reckless as hell with their talk. When they haven't done anything on behalf of our people.
Hey, the enemy's public, much respect, brother. You know, you just said something that made me want to tap in. Just give me like 30 seconds, please.
Yes, take
You
as
know,
much time as you need, brother.
that person that you talk about, we can be trying to build something positive in the community, and they'll come in and find one negative thing about it, and they'll try to tear that community down or that project down just so they can throw their rocks. Like I said, we can be building on beautiful things, you know, trying to bring positivity to the community. But they'll find one little stone to press and bring chaos and confusion in the community because that's what they were sent there to do. Like I said,
Yes.
it's mind blowing, sir. You got it. That's all I wanted to say. I'm gonna tap
Yes,
back
sir. And I'm in total agreement with that. They would deny what happened with our people. But, you know, for all these atrocities, it's like what Alex Jones did with Sandy Hook, you know, when he denied the pain of the parents of the who lost their children, being on some conspiracy theory thing. I say tell that bullshit to the people who lost their loved one. If I lost a loved one and that person say it's a conspiracy theory and fake news, I'm coming to find them and show them how real it is. That's sheer stupidity to deny what happened to our people, but has sympathy for others. Some of these niggas came from the Brandon Tatum camp because he talked that foolishness every time something happened that's fake news or it didn't happen or it's justified. They need a little more than a talking to with their behavior. They talk real tough. And I know for certain that they're not as tough as they say they are because they talk too much. And I've never seen so many argumentative Negroes in my life. They're not built for no type of rank and file because they talk too much. Not built for no type of rank and file. Somebody ready, war ready. Niggas not war ready. I don't subscribe to taking nothing somebody went out and worked for and earned. If somebody did that, they deserve to have everything they have. But don't hinder us when we're trying to do something. That's what causes war. When you hinder somebody, peace to my brother Bronx Flat Power God. That's what that's what causes war. When you try to hinder somebody from coming up and raising their people up to a higher level. That causes war. Yet we have some among us that hinder our growth. The reason why everybody not gonna make it is because it's painful obvious we're gonna have to get rid of some of our own. Painfully obvious. The language You don't have to agree with everything I say. I'm not looking for a bobblehead. But when you deny there's a system in place that holds our people down that we need to get out of, you are my enemy. Straight up. I don't care if you're a family member, you're my enemy. These niggas is crazy, OJ. Just venting. And you know, we've been doing a series, Divorce in the System, yet we have people who wants to get comfortable. They want to find them a comfortable place in the system. A system that's not even built for them. They want a comfortable place in it.
Mind blowing.
And would rather go to war with their own instead of, joining the ranks with their own to divorce the system. Yeah, we're going to do what we need to do, spite them, brother.
Yeah, I'm with you, brother. Let me vent this real quick.
Yes, sir.
As far as with my channel, I had about 20 or 30 people that were showing hate against me, and since them people unsubscribed to me, I have gained probably 500 subscribers and the channel is growing, because they're rocking with the information of us talking about divorce in the system, because we are calling out, the wrongs that's being done to our people. You know what I mean? So much respect to you always, brother. And
Indeed.
and and I just wanted to vent that because like I see the division in the community because some of us, talk negative about the system. If you lived in it and experienced it, more than likely you had a negative thing, not glorifying that negative situation, but just letting you know that's the experience that you had. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? And this system that we're talking about, if you for the things that they're doing, especially recently, you know what I mean? They're taking away basically our human rights. They're taking away, our rights as for the next generation also. So if you're caping for this system, more than likely, you're going down with this sinking ship. And I have no sympathy for you. Go ahead,
Exactly.
brother.
Me either, brother. No sympathy. And with what they're pushing, brother, what they're pushing is detrimental to our whole being. It won't be no future. What they're pushing. Because if two men are going in the room and closing the door, there's not going to be a child as a result of that. Two women either. It's not going to be a child coming from that union. And I don't believe in this go along to get along foolishness with nobody. No kumbaya with me. Now, if there's somebody who's minding their business and not partaking or, a part of the system who happens to be Caucasian, so be it. I'm not going, and not only that, I'm not with bothering nobody who's not bothering me. I'm speaking about the system. Peace to the brother executive sessions. I'm talking
And
about
brother,
the system.
and brother Nasir, this system taught us to turn the other cheek, and this system also taught us not to love ourselves. You see what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
I'm speaking facts. It didn't teach us to love and respect ourselves. It taught us to hate everything about us, and had us look up to these other superior, so-called superior races that's controlling all aspects of our reality
Yes.
from the TV to the media to the politics to the religions to the education system. They controlling all aspects of it. They're the ones that touching the bones on these archaeological missions they on. They're the ones that's building the libraries and the basically the museums. You know, our people that had no parts of that shit but an opinion and want to talk about why. You know, we were taught that color didn't matter, but our color is the one that didn't matter. You know, and a lot of our people, that's what this new generation is pushing. You know, and that's no different than the Christianity. You know,
Yes.
it ain't about color; it's about the spirit. It's about the heart.
See, people used to say, Christians used to say, you know, it don't matter what color Jesus is. They used to say that to me. And I say, well, if it didn't matter, why is he painted not according to what the scriptures say? Peace to the brother God body. Because according to the scriptures, he was a black man, but they paint him white. And the only people saying it don't matter is our people. Because it mattered to somebody, to those of us who subscribe to that. I don't subscribe to that. Yet our people are so apologetic and our people are so forgiving. We forgive when people don't even acknowledge wrongdoing and don't even apologize, and we forgive. Now, the climate that's out here today, we cannot afford to have certain niggas out here speaking on our behalf. Not with the climate, because they would justify wrongdoing to our people. They'll justify it. They'll get up and they will apologize for making our enemy mad enough to attack us. I don't know which one I did dislike the most. The white supremacist or the apologetic coon ass nigga. I don't know which one of them I dislike the most.
And Brother Nasir, I always say the only reason white supremacy lasted as long as it did, because they had coon ass niggas pushing behind it, hiding it. Or this would have been settled in the 60s and the 70s,
Yes.
to be honest.
Yes. Yes. I agree. They could have never done anything without the help of one of us. None of it without the help of one of us. They always manage to find somebody to offset what we're trying to do as a people. And the problem I have with us is we let that person live after they do that to us. We let them walk around after they do that to us. That's the problem I have with us.
And Brother Nasir, you know, we get those niggas that basically say we need more education. But the last time I checked, we're the number one in student loan debt. So we tried your education, miseducation. It's not getting us nowhere. Like I said, last time I checked, this system was pushing one agenda and one agenda only. And it's either you for it or you're against it.
And they're also pushing indoctrination. They don't want to give us that education so we could be self-sufficient, start a business of our own and be on our own as a people. No, they want us to fit in their society, because us owning something 100% that's gonna generate generational wealth, that's a no-no to them. Because if you look at everybody who are prevalent, whether it's a doctor, entertainer, or some type of sports figure, or any of us who have some type of wealth, you look at what they do to them in the closing years of their life. None of them get out clean. None of them. So those of us who partake in this foolishness, play the game with them, I keep telling these niggas, America in particular would do the dirt with you to get the dirt on you. That's their game. Look at everybody who used to be their friend, who used to do dirt on their behalf all over the world. Eventually, that person became the boogeyman and was brought up on charges. Emmanuel Noriega, Osama bin Laden, what's his name? Saddam Hussein. All these people was down with America at one time, doing dirt all over the world for these people. But eventually, look what happened. They got the dirt on you because they was there when you was doing the dirt on their behalf. That's how they get the dirt on you. And like I always state, they break their tools when they're done with them. You will not be an old rusty tool sitting in the shed. They're going to break you after they're done with you. So those of us who are out here wearing the cape for these white supremacists and denying that it happened, watch what they do to your dumb ass. Watch what they do to Brandon Tatum when when they retire his ass. You think he's gonna retire from this foolishness he's doing? He's not gonna retire from that. Because we're dealing with an ungrateful people too. No matter what you do on their behalf, to the detriment of your people, you're gonna be a broke tool when it's all said and done. Because the Central Intelligence Program, FBI, DEA, all these alphabet people, they have conspired against our people. Whenever you have a minor infraction and they pull you to the side and say you got to infiltrate your people's organization and make it what it is today, and they're fighting today on what it was made in the 60s. They're fighting today on those lies. It's brothers don't like brothers because of these organizations.
And Bro.Nasir, you touched on the FBI. We don't even gotta go that deep. You got local police and sheriffs,
Yes.
and we got a lot of our people who are confidential informants working with these police every day.
Yes, indeed.
So we got a lot of them in our community that don't want to, see us prosper or see this community grow inside or outside of YouTube. And I'm going to lay him right there.
Brother, you're absolutely correct. Some of us, let me tell you, if it was the heaven that people talked about as we was growing up, that fictitious heaven, if that heaven existed, it's obvious that some of us wouldn't even want to go if we couldn't take our open and consistent enemy with us. Wouldn't even want to go to heaven. if they couldn't take white folks with them. It wouldn't even be considered heaven without them. That's some of their sentiment. They can't even imagine a world without them. They're so into them in their way of life and their way of thinking because they'll deny their own people's pain. That's foolishness to me. And they couldn't be around me with their foolish talk. It's foolish. Now, this system, a lot of our people will say, is rigged. And I beg to differ. It's not rigged. It's not for you. So when it's unfair to you, knowing that is the mission statement for it to be unfair to you. And for those who say there's no white privilege, whenever a person, because you ask them to obey the rules, I'm gonna go there with Amy Goodman in Central Park. If a person can say, I'm gonna call the cops and tell them a black man attacked me, all because you think the cops is gonna come and arrest this brother or do harm to him or even worse. If that's not white privilege, if that's not somebody thinking that they have white privilege, that's white privilege 101. What kind of mindset is that? Who gives that mindset? The system does. Because before these cameras, they took their word for it. Before we had cameras to prove them wrong, the police, in particular, the white ones, took their word for it, and we went to jail. Now, Emmett Till got killed because of that shit. George Stinney got killed because of that shit. A white police officer killed 2 little girls, and they want us to believe a man is a boy, probably about 4 feet tall, 110 pounds, killed 2 girls and carried them and threw them in the river. A man did that shit. But the young brother was executed. That's white privilege and it's racism. But some of us are going to learn the hard way. And what I'm not going to do is try to convince you. All I say is keep living. They'll do it. They're going to convince you. Because if I never heard any of those who spoke out against this beast, if I never heard Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, anybody who called the white man the devil, if I never heard them speak, I walked this earth for damn near 60 years. I would still had that determination without hearing any of them. So you can't blame them for calling out the obvious. Because of their sojourn in America, you can't blame them for calling out the obvious. And we always have something to say about those who stood up for us. We'll give a credit to our enemy. That person was manufactured. That right there is the silliest fucking talk I ever heard in my life. Everybody who came before us and tried to make our people better was manufactured by our enemy. That's foolish. What does that say about us as a people? that means we're not worth a damn. We don't even deserve to be here. If we can't stand up on the behalf and act on behalf of our own people, that means we shouldn't even be here. Because we're incapable of doing anything without somebody else. Mind-boggling to me, brother. When I hear people talk like that, it's mind-boggling. I know we have some coons, like the NAACP, trying to stand and act on our behalf and try to tell people what's best for us. No, we can't have them talking on our behalf because of their origin and because of their track record. And what they're doing today in this time, no, they don't speak for me. I don't know about nobody else, but they don't speak for me personally. They don't.
They don't speak for me and my family either, brother.
See, what's this? The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. That name alone, divorces me from them. That's a hell of an acronym. And we have to wonder who came up with that acronym. To me, it's Negroes always asking Caucasian permission because it seems like they don't do nothing without their permission. That's what NAACP stands for me. It's like one step forward, two steps back. That's absolutely no progress, brother. And we can't seem to all walk together as a people without somebody else being invited. We put the cape on. I mean, super niggas, bro. Put the cape on. Every time you turn around, it's always somebody falling for the trick bag and putting the cape on for others. Put the cape on for your own people.
Big facts, brother Nasir. Big facts.
There's nothing wrong with you wanting for your own people exclusively, because everybody else, regardless of who you work with, but the main objective for all people, and not only that, the first law of nature is self-preservation. Whether it's you as a person, self-preservation, or you for your people, self-preservation. Then we can work with other people later. But now we got to get our own shit together.
Hey, brother Nasir, then you always get one of them nigga pins that said, nah, you can't do for self. No, you gotta implement master in it. You can't take care of your own health. You can't educate yourself. No. You can't do it. That's what they say.
Yeah. I mean, it's excuse after excuse after excuse. It's like, to me, some of them, I'm not going to say low key, because it's obvious to me some of them they have a God complex when it comes to our enemy. They see them as God because they worship them. They hold on to their every word, but everything a brother trying to tell them was a goddamn lie, and it's suspect. Their sentiment is, it must be true because a white man said it. That's their sentiment. They'll go again when people are doing research. They would go and they'll find something that resonates with them. Me, I would rather look for the truth, whether it's, it resonates with me or not. If you're looking for the truth may not be something that you like. Yet the truth is final. You got it now. Your eureka moment. But some of us would rather go out and teach things that just resonates with them. That's how you feel. No, it's not necessarily the truth, but it's how you feel about things. The truth is painfully obvious. And when you find that truth, that's what you go by. Whether it's, whether it resonates with you or not. Peace of Cherokee. Thanks for joining. A lot of we want feel good moments. Feel good moments instead of just working to preserve our people so we could keep not only a moment, we can make it permanently. But some of us want that moment. And and the trendy blabbermouths are funny to me. When you go on a panel, I asked the question, what do you pay? I'm gonna ask you, brother, Big Dog. What do you pay an attention whore? And how do you pay an attention whore?
Basically, I was taught not to pay them any attention at all, and they'll fade away.
Okay, that's the perfect answer because that's what they're looking to be paid. Attention. Attention whores want attention. So if you don't pay an attention whore attention, they serve no purpose. But some of these brothers and sisters, but mainly brothers, are attention whores. And they want attention. When you come on a panel for the sole purpose of disturbing the bills and undermining everybody and thinking you're right about every goddamn thing, people's supposed to, take your ideology. Your little ass just got here a few fucking days, but you acting like you the fucking Messiah. These niggas are funny. Didn't live at all. Just got off the goddamn porch or balcony if they grew up in the projects, and they don't know shit. Never did nothing, never fought on nobody's behalf. Didn't even fight on their own damn behalf.
Hey, they probably just learning how to pay bills like 3 years ago because they left their mammy house.
Exactly.
Some of them still may be at their mammy house.
Exactly. I was a teen when I left home, bro. A teen. And I'm 3 years shy of 60, bro. But I was a teen when I left home. It was because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. When you get out of school, supposed to leave home. My parents was against it, but I left. Some of them are still at their mother's house, running their mouths. Talking tough. Talking like the know-it-alls, but those are the ones who get me. Because I will admit that I'm a learner. That way, and I admit I don't know it all. I don't know much.
And brother Nasir, we can bring up redlining with housing is another way how they showed their white supremacy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? And some of us don't want to look at that. I mean, we got plenty ways of how they stopped us and kept us,
Whole
you know,
lot of examples, bro.
through the banking system, through the plenty systems. You got it, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're absolutely correct. So many examples you can give, even with the appraisals of our homes. They were under appraise our homes, knowing our homes is worth. I mean, I've seen the videos, I've heard the people on the news and everything. A brother and a sister, they'll buy a home and they get it appraised. They under appraise it just so they can get less for it. But they'll go and they'll send their white friend in, and their home will get appraised for more. I've seen that. And guess what that is? When you can send your white friend in and get the home appraised for more. It's white privilege. So many examples.
When a banker give, say, here go example. You know, you got two people making the same amount of money, $100,000 a year. You know, a black family and a white family. When the bank won't give that black family that loan, but it'll give that white family a loan. That's redlining. You
It's
got it, sir.
redlining. It's redlining. And it's also white privilege. Because they only got it because they white. Whenever you get something for the sole purpose because you're white, it's white privilege. Over somebody else,
Exactly.
that's white privilege. It exists. We have our problems as a people. We do. If we'll never work out our problems without with interference. If we're left alone without all the trick bags, we'll work our problems out. But it's always some type of interference. Either they'll interfere altogether, or it'll be one of us. We should never have somebody sell us out and walk around afterwards. I don't care who it is. They shouldn't be able to sell us out. A whole nation of people sell us out, regardless of what it is. If you sell us out, you should not be walking around talking about it. And that's the only way we're going to rise as a people. We have to be serious about that. But we let them get away with it. They retire from that. We let them retire from being a Negro who sold us out. We should find that joker and have a talk to him or her. A serious talk. Now I want to show this video. I was watching earlier. It's about 2 minutes long, brother. You want to tell me that we're not dealing with a race of goddamn devils?
Was killed during a Louisville police officer unleashed his dog on a 14-year-old black boy who was spotted lying on the ground with severe injuries and hospitalized. This was a finding as part of the DOJ's broader two-year investigation into the Louisville Metro Police Department in the Louisville Jefferson County Metro that was leased after Breonna Taylor was killed during a raid by 7 officers in March 2020. The police dog incident occurred during a search for a home invasion suspect. According to the Department of Justice, which reviewed the video of the encounter, the date of the incident and the name of the officer was not disclosed. The officer was leading his dog to search for a suspect of the home invasion. After searching for several minutes, the officer saw the teenager lying on the ground face down in the grass. The Justice Department wrote in its report, immediately after noticing the teen, the officer deployed his dog off leash without giving any warning and ordered the dog to bite the teen at least 7 times. During the encounter, the teen pleaded, Okay, help. Get the dog, please. The report stated as officers continued to stand over him and shouted orders for at least 30 seconds while the dog growled on his arm. At one point, the officer shouted, Stop fighting my dog, despite the video showing the teen lying down, still with one arm behind his back and the other arm in the dog's mouth. The teen suffered severe injuries on his arm and his back and was admitted to children's hospitals.
Partner Echo, just imagine your 14-year-old's attacked by a damn canine and the officer is telling you while the dog is biting you, the officer is telling you to stop fighting my dog. Stop biting my dog. Because it's another story, the same story somebody else covered, but I didn't want to use their stuff. I just wanted to use the news clipping. They tell you to stop resisting when you're not. And how are you going to comply with any of their orders when a dog's biting you? You can't comply. He got one hand behind his back complying, and the dog got the other one in its mouth. So how is the child going to put their hand behind his back with the dog having it in its mouth? In most case scenarios, you know who trained these dogs. Dogs should not be used to catch people. You're dealing with some bitch-ass cops who refuse to run and catch people. If that's a criminal, you're supposed to run. Dogs should be sniffing out drugs and bombs. That's it. Not biting people. That's barbaric as hell. To sick a dog on somebody. The only time a dog should be attacking somebody if your house is fenced in and it's protecting your house and somebody trespass on your property. But for sicking a dog on somebody, that's barbaric. You're a wicked person doing that.
Especially someone giving himself up. The guy
Exactly.
was already on the ground with his hands behind him.
And it was a child, 14-year-old.
Yeah, child. Sad. Shout out to Cherokee. Much respect. Much love to everybody in the chat, man.
My people, as far as my sentiment, as far as I'm concerned, come first. I don't believe in taking nothing from nobody who earned it. If you earned it, it's yours. Yet when it comes to standing up and acting on behalf, mine come first. I'm not going to hinder the next people, but mine come first. Just don't hinder my efforts when it comes to mine. Yeah, we have hindrance all over the place when it comes to us. And some of us don't believe it. We think we live in this world that we see on TV. We don't. We live in a world that while we're sleeping, our detriment is being planned. And not only that, it's not just our people detriment being planned. Again, it's a system. There's systems inside the system. I don't do the kumbaya. That's for those who are into that. I don't do that. Because I've seen that what that gets you. You may think these people are your friends until the right time come. You ask James Bird's family down in Jasper, Texas. Ask him. He thought he was going out and drink with friends until they got drunk. He was drinking with friends. Do you remember that, OG?
Yes, sir. I can even give you another situation of a buddy of mine in Georgia. He was out drinking with some of his so-called friends, and end up, they got drunk, and he had to poke him to get out, and he beat it.
Indeed.
That's self-defense.
Exactly.
So he lived to get away, but he had to go get judged by 12.
Had to go through all that for defending himself. But James Bird wasn't so lucky. He went out drinking with them, got drunk. They got drunk. They hit him over the head with a bottle, jumped him, tied him to a truck, and dragged him 3.5 miles. Can you imagine being dragged 3.5 miles? He hitting guardrails, head cut off, and the whole nine. But those were his friends. So he thought. I'm not going to say that each and every Caucasian person have that mindset. I'm not going to say that. Because, the young sister down in Mexico, she was beat to death by some of our people. See, we hold ourselves accountable, but we have to be careful when it comes to the systemic thing. And whatever we are today, we are made in America, wherever we are. We were taught by the best when it comes to this wicked shit and being wicked. We were taught by the best. And they couldn't have done nothing that they've done to us without the help of one of us. If you look at all the police departments today that have one of us as a chief, can you imagine a black woman who has the potential or already have a black son running a police department where they are abusing black men? With a black female as a chief. Or one of us, a brother, as a chief. Most of the wardens are one of us in these state prisons. We learn from the best. And we look and we try to find comfort in a system that is not designed for us. We want comfort in it. And that's when you get that type of black man or woman. The ones who want comfort in this system. They'll do anything to get that comfort. They'll go along to get along. They will oppress their own damn people. You're not mentioning what Richard Pryor said. You're not messing up my pension, nigga. All about their pension. They will retire from being an oppressor of their own damn people under the guise of law and order or law enforcement. Not everybody, but it exists. I would never say everybody has that mindset. If you throw a rock in the crowd, the one who yells ouch is the one who got hit. If I'm not talking to you if that's not you. I know it's going to be time consuming. I know it's going to take time. Yet, the system's not designed for us, and we have to get out of it and not try to find comfort in it, because there's no comfortable place for us in it. No comfortable place. It's not ours. So you can't make yourself at home in a system not designed for you. Brother OG, do you have any closing remarks? I don't want to be long this evening. I just wanted to do a quick vent.
No, sir. Thank you for letting me on. Much respect. You know, I did my little vent and I'm good. I appreciate you for letting me on. Much love and respect to everybody in the chat, man. Grand Rising.
You know, same to you, brother. You know, I extend the same courtesy that you give to me, brother. You know, you're my brother, and you know that's what it is. This is home to you. You see me live,
brother. Much
you see me live, you at home, brother. I'm gonna do a rundown before I close out. I want to say peace to Cherokee. I want to say peace to the realist McCoy. Peace to the brother Chris Cyphers. Peace to God Body. Peace to Executive Sessions. Peace to the brother Bronx Flat Power God. Peace to the brother Greedy Vegan. Thanks for coming through. Salute to you all. Thanks for joining me. This is The Enemy's Public. I am Bro.Nasir. Like, share, subscribe. Leave a comment in the comment section. Peace.
Yo, the enemy's public, I gotta keep my eyes open. Pay attention, stop walking around like you blindfolded. This not the World Cup, but Nasir be kicking knowledge. This is the type of information you can never learn in college. It's time to fight back, it's no more trying to play it cool. We got interviews, podcasts, and got the latest news. So sit back and relax, we about to get it started. Earth is a canvas, and guess who's the con artist? They brainwashing us, the system corrupted. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. You are now rocking with the enemy's public. I said you are now rocking with the enemy's public. Hey.